local.
Legoland has announced their new indoor roller coaster set to open next year, not only at Legoland Florida in Lakeland, but also in Legoland California. So a big investment from Legoland when it comes to a new attraction at their theme parks. And digital content manager Josh Frigerio sat down with Tharin White, lead publisher of EYNTK.Info, and they talked about what this means and what to expect from the new ride.
Definitely a very big investment. They said that a total of $90 million will be spent on these coasters, and more supposedly is coming between both Florida and California. So Legoland is obviously a really, really big name in the industry, but their parks are usually more regional based. So $90 million is not a small check for them to write. I'm very excited. There's been construction, and we've kind of seen a little bit of what's been going on in the back of the park, but now we officially know it is going to be this immersive indoor roller coaster, and it's great to see that both coasts are going to get that.
Yeah, and this is, Legoland has been in the headlines lately. One, they scaled down a little bit of their entertainment team. They said they were refocusing on that. They have this new sea life underwater aquarium. You just gave us all a preview of that not too long ago. And now we've got this brand new roller coaster. How do you describe what is happening at Legoland?
So it's definitely a reshuffling, is the way it seems. So they're run overall by Merlin Entertainments. That is a worldwide company. And so with them changing up their entertainment and definitely laying some people off there, but now adding some more investments here, it'll be interesting to see what their grand plan is multiple years down the road. As we can see right now, they obviously were doing some cost cutting when it comes to their employees, but they're obviously throwing massive amounts of money when it comes to the aquarium and, of course, this roller coaster, potentially more. I don't like to necessarily compare all the parks all the time, but we are in the middle of a theme park war right now. Of course, we've got Universal Epic Universe, and with them doing that, we've got new things coming from SeaWorld, Busch Gardens, Disney, and of course, Legoland themselves. So we're really kind of in the middle of this renaissance, this big, big war that's happening right now in Orlando specifically, where all of the parks are throwing everything they have, and that is only the best possible outcome for us fans.
Well, I was gonna say, who wins, right? If we got some competition going on with all these theme parks, I mean, SeaWorld has launched 3 theme parks. Disney has had Guardians and Ratatouille and all the other things there. Epic, or not Epic, Universal has a whole new theme park, but shoot, at Islands of Adventure, they just had Velocicoaster, right? And they've got Hagrid's, 2 of their big coasters lately. Who wins?
Ultimately, the losers are the executives who have to get stressed about all this and try to bring people to their parks. But if you're a fan, if you're a Florida resident, if you're anyone really that wants to visit and love these theme parks, we are the true winners. I mean, every single day it seems like we're getting new information. It's actually hard to keep up with how much is happening just here in the Central Florida area. We are the winners.
That sounds like a good thing for any theme park lover, right? And
Yes.
you just get more innovation, you get more technology, you get more immersive experiences or more thrills. I guess it depends on the ride you want. So let's get back to Legoland. We know this as an indoor coaster. What do we know about it?
So unfortunately, we don't know a lot. We do know that it's going to be all the way in the back of the park, just due where the construction is happening. So we know it's going to be near the Legoland water park. And we know that it's indoors and we know that it's immersive. And due to some of their wording, it kind of sounds like it's an out of this world experience. So we're going to assume space or a launch or something like that. Some of the original Lego sets that were ever announced and ever sold for the company did have to deal with space. So it would be very cool if they kind of did a retro throwback and maybe we get a rocket ship or something out there. We don't know, but if it's indoors, we've already seen major success, obviously, with Cosmic Rewind, the Guardians of the Galaxy themed roller coaster at Epcot. That is indoors, and of course, Disney also has Space Mountain. So the idea of doing an indoor space themed roller coaster is a good idea, in my opinion, and I love them. So I'm interested to see kind of what Lego's take is. They always have a very unique brand of humor and a unique brand that they kind of really sets them up as Lego in their parks. We'll have to see what it's going to be.
Yeah, they gave us some photos, right? Just of the initial construction and stuff as we were going through. What did you take away from those photos? What did you notice?
Well, we don't get a ton, but as we can see, there is a lot of concrete. And a lot of concrete means a lot of weight, and a lot of weight means a lot of track. So we do know, again, this is going to be indoors, so we expect a massive show building to be put on top of this. That's why we're going to need all of that space. This existing space, there actually used to be a roller coaster sitting right there. It was a suspended roller coaster, and you kind of got to fly around and you got a view. It was an outdoor roller coaster, so it's interesting to see that they are replacing a roller coaster with a roller coaster. Whether it was they wanted a different theme, maybe the older one was just too old to kind of maintain, or they are so confident in this new coaster coming to both coasts that it was worth tearing down a thrill attraction. We'll have to wait and see, but they're obviously very confident if they're building on both coasts.
Yeah, Theron, I kind of told you before this interview that I feel like we're in a theme park renaissance. Do you agree with that?
I 100% agree. I mean, we are in the middle of everyone is going crazy. The just not even just Central Florida, but the United States as a whole. The parks that we have now compared to the parks that we're going to have in 2030, I think are going to be very, very different in the best way possible. It is seeming like we have 100% come out of that kind of COVID slump where the parks were kind of scared and they were pulling back. And it looks like we are just getting millions and millions and billions of dollars thrown into the industry right now. And I'm all for that.
It just sounds so exciting. My last question for you is, we've had you on Orlando Parks VIP, right? That's our theme park show that we had here at Fox 35. And when we talked about Legoland in the beginning, I remember you talking about how you thought it was a really great family park. It was different than Disney, it was different than SeaWorld, and it was
Yep.
different than Universal, the type of thrills, the type of experiences. For anyone who's watching, who says, okay, I know Legoland, I didn't know it was actually that close to Orlando, I know where it's at. Why do you love it, and why do you recommend it?
So they actually specifically say that their target market is 2 year olds to 12-year-olds. And I think that's actually pretty accurate. This maybe doesn't have also the big, big thrills that you expect you could get at Universal or from Disney. But personally, I love the park because to me, it feels like a very, very upscale regional park. It feels like a family owned park. It's not, but the way that you're kind of treated there, the way that you can go and get some of the food, the way that their employees are so, so kind and so willing to help you. And I feel like it feels like a small park, but they've definitely got some big park offerings, and that's really why I've enjoyed it. And surprisingly, one thing that might people might not get, they have some of the best theme park food I've ever had. Like their food is surprisingly good.